Good evening. Welcome to Westerly High School's Salvatore J. Augeri Field for today's girls varsity soccer contest being played between the Tiverton Tigers and our Westerly High School's Lady Bulldogs. If the ladies would please line up for introductions. The starters for the Tiverton Tigers, who are coached by James Gotch and Grace James. We have sophomore, number 10, Maeve Banal. Freshman, number 14, Jenna Del Dio. Senior, number 18, Ashley Guerrera. In goal tonight, senior, Emma Lopez. Senior, number 8, Victoria McGovern. Junior, number 28, Madison Mello. Senior, number 24, Michaela Miranda. Senior, number 12, Kate Peterson. Senior, number 17, Taylor Pickering. Senior, number 3, Kate Zimick. Junior, number 16, Kaylee Gorman. And for the Bulldogs, coached by Jay Hudson, Hillary Toronto, and Evo Diaz. Number 6, Captain Nina Solino. Number 19, Captain Maddie Fobert. Captain number 3, Jillian Octo. In goal, senior number 9, Alex Nelson. Junior number 2, Gia Keegan. Junior number 1, Sam Sacco. Sophomore number 13, Cassidy Cisco. Sophomore number 22, Sydney Hake. Freshman number 21, Nora Zuberini. Freshman number 11, Eva Entreri. And freshman number 7, Kate Rafferty. If everyone would please stand and turn your attention to the flag near the scoreboard for the national anthem.
Sing it, Jen.
Thank you and good luck.
Hello, one, hello, all. Welcome to Sal or Jerry Field on this beautiful Wednesday night. I am the voice, Greg Morano, alongside producer, owner, Shane Belanger. We got Lisa upstairs behind the lens. Together we are Westerly.live. We have some Varsity Lady Bulldog soccer action ahead of us here. Very even matchup in front of us as the visiting Tiverton Tigers come in with a 4-2 record, and our Lady Bulldogs sport a 5-2 record. So the teams in their final huddles before the game. Introductions have been made coming into today's game. Westerly is listed third in the Division 3, that is, and Tiverton is pretty much tied right behind them at fourth with the 4-2 record, one less game played. So this is an early season test for the Bulldogs, as both of them have two big tests coming up later on in the season, which I'll get into later as far as their upcoming schedules. Let's deal with the here and now, as Tiverton, after a long ride, you never know when a team comes from that far across the state, how they're going to come off the bus. So we'll see early. We've seen both things happen. And the Bulldogs getting their final instructions in their huddle. Again, we are Westerly.live. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Westerly.live on your web browser. We are here at Sal Jerry Field, Lady Bulldogs varsity soccer action. Tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m., Federico Gymnasium, Lady Bulldog volleyball action. Finally, Friday night, 7 p.m., right back here, Sal Jerry Field, varsity Bulldog football action. Back to the present, our Lady Bulldogs have taken the field. Sacco at midfield with possession, awaiting the Tigers, who break their huddle. So this game does have positioning ramifications in the division early on in the season, or nearing midway through. And there's the whistle. Here we go. Sacco back to her teammate to the near side. That's going to be Rafferty. And teammate slips, ball goes out of bounds, and the Tigers will throw in. Weather couldn't be better, no possible way. Temperature, nice breeze out there. Throw in to number 17 of the Tigers, up the sidelines. That's Octo, the captain. Steals it, puts it ahead for herself. Gets past the defender, trying to run it down. There is someone with an angle for the Tigers. A nice slide tackle, goes out of bounds. Clean tackle, no whistle. And it is going to go in favor of, waiting to see. We may have an injury down on the field at the moment, and I do believe we do. We have a Tiger down. That is the delay. So that's unfortunate, an early issue, as we've just gotten started here tonight, folks. So both teams have played and still have to play the likes of Burrowville and St. Raphael Academy. I have the dates, and like I said, both teams have those games coming up, and those two teams are ahead of them in the rankings at the moment. Burrowville stands unbeaten at 8-0, and St. Raphael Academy right behind at 7-1-1. Both Westerly and Tiverton will face both going forward. Exeter West Greenwich is squeezed in the rankings with a 5-4 record due to the number of games they've played. They do have two more losses. So as the season levels itself out on the schedule, that will put the Bulldogs ahead. So both teams in the huddle at the moment. And the injured player being helped off the field to a round of applause early on. Just 2 minutes into action here, folks. You never want to see any injuries on the field, as the field is halfway covered in shade, half in the sun, which does affect the players. Bulldogs will be going into the sun in the first half of this game. And the teams start to take their place as the injured Tiger is assisted off of the field. And we get back to business, folks. Bulldogs coming off of a win versus Shea, 3-0 at Westerly. The Tigers also coming off of a win versus Johnston. That was a road win. Johnston, back-to-back road games. And the whistle, we will begin again. So the Bulldogs step in front. It is open for possession, kick towards the near side. And I believe that should stay with the Bulldogs, and it will. Throwing in number 7, Rafferty for the Bulldogs. There's several Tigers in the area, able to clear it out. And number 10 for the Tigers pops it up. Matty Forbert in the way of it, the captain for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs a good D at the moment. That's Zerberini getting in on the action. And there's a lead pass. Octo on the fly with it. Looks like she's going to make a move. Nice dribble and eluded the defender. Puts a nice shot up just wide right. Great move with the ball for Octo, the captain. And the first action offensively on the Bulldogs' end. So while someone retrieves the ball, hopefully we're not playing with only one. If that's the case, we should definitely stop down at Teddy's Toys. Sports, all sports. In addition, modern toys, classic toys, board games, anything toys, Teddy's Toys. And the ball back in play. Forbert on the defense on the far side. And the Bulldogs will throw in. Forbert quickly throws it back in. Into the shady portion of the field. Back to Forbert it goes. 2 defenders there. She's able to split them. Sacco tries to get in and help. And number 6 on the defense for the Bulldogs, Celino, the captain. Zerberini steps up on the defense and comes to the near side, Rafferty. Puts it up, and that's going to be in front of Intreri, and defender for the Tigers able to put it out of bounds and end any kind of a breakaway. Rafferty to throw in quickly, though. Octo tries to lead Octo, centering pass just to the left side of the goal. So it will go back in Tiverton's direction. And at the moment, it does look like we're playing with that single ball. Chasing it down is the goalie. And we're live again. Giving some final instructions, the Tiverton goalie. Westerly pressing thus far, most of the ball in the shade on their side of the field. Rafferty puts it up, and they're trying to get it ahead. This will go in Wesley's direction. Throwing in again is Rafferty, like a broken record at the moment. Constant pressure by the Bulldogs. Haven't got one on goal yet, though. Towards the middle. That's going to be Sacco, who fights her way through. Almost gets the pass across. Tigers able to break the lane and get the ball out towards midfield. Trying to run it down and keep it in bounds. Unable to do so as the Tigers. Matty Forbert on the far side throws it back in bounds. A Tiger foot steps in. Keegan for the Bulldogs, battling for possession. And the Tigers come out with it. Not for long, they don't. And that's going to be off Celino. Changes field position completely. Goalie way out of the goal for the Tigers. And the Bulldogs try to get one past it directly at the goalie. Way out of the goal did she come. And off of the Bulldogs' head. And they maintain possession. Zerberini in the middle of the field. Passes it to Intreri. Looking for space. Not finding any. And unable to run it down. It is going to go in the Tigers' direction on our side. And Rafferty puts a foot on it, back out of bounds. Tigers will throw again. And they quickly do so. Again off of Rafferty's foot. And this is Keegan at midfield. Tries to lead it over the far side. And that's Cisco, the intended recipient of the pass. Did get a foot on it. Put a nice move, but was double teamed on the far side. To the middle of the field, Zerberini with it. always a weapon, and puts up in front of Intrari, but again, the goalie for Tiverton not afraid to come way out of goal to thwart any efforts thus far. It's a gamble, 2 for 2 though, and the Bulldogs still without a shot on goal. Tiverton really without a threat on goal at the moment. And Octo, nice move, creates space for herself. Last second, the Tigers able to put it out of bounds. Throwing in is Rafferty for the Bulldogs. Waiting for her teammate. She's going to throw it towards midfield. And the Tiger steps in. Rafferty gets another foot on it. And that is Keegan. 2 defenders in the way, though. Fulbert, the captain on the far side, eludes the first defender, turns upfield. And the Tigers able to take it away. Tigers trying to get it on the Bulldogs side of the field. Unable to get remotely close to the goal at the moment, which is being tended by Alex Nelson, the senior, who was just back from injury. Zeberini with a little lane, but a safety for the Tigers, able to again put it out of bounds to put out the fire. Constant pressure right out of the gates here by the Lady Bulldogs. Nothing really at the goal, but definitely on their side of the field. Rafferty puts up a lob, pass, nobody can run it down, and again the goalie comes out and grabs it. So that threat fizzled as the goalie puts it over midfield, but directly to the waiting feet of the captain, Salino, who turns around and about midfield puts it up. And 2 Bulldogs wrestle for it. It's going to come off the foot of Zerberini. Again, trying to lead somebody ahead towards the goal, but way out is the goalie. And again, the kick towards midfield off the head of Keegan. Number 22 for the Bulldogs, Sid Hake, defending in the corner. That's her first action, as they have not been threatened, and it goes out of bounds. She does her job, and it will go back in the Bulldogs' direction. So that's the furthest in Westerly territory that the Tigers have gotten thus far, but what matters is the scoreboard, and that remains at 0. Shots on goal, I would imagine, remain at 0 as well. Octo fighting on our side, the captain with the ball. Number 3 for the Tigers, able to take it away and pass. Ends up with it towards midfield. And Rafferty steps in, able to get it to Keegan. Nice dribbling by Keegan. A Tiger, however, does step in. Kick to the far side, that's going to get out of bounds. Bulldogs will throw in. Maddie Fulbert, the captain, to throw in for the Bulldogs. And right back out of bounds. So out of the sidelines, the Bulldogs haven't been able to find much space. But if you're looking for space or rentals, Mark Wright, Realtor, Coldwell Banker, Coastal Homes. Your satisfaction is Mark's first concern. Consider him for all your housing needs. Buying, selling, market analysis, whatever it may be. Back to the field. The in and out of bounds battle for the Bulldogs continues. This is going to get thrown in favor of the Tigers. And Keegan on defense. Fulbert comes in and settles in the steal, but the Tigers get it right back and take a run at it. 2 Bulldogs there. And Bulldogs putting it right back out towards the middle third. On defense is Keegan. Bulldogs defense is swarming, not allowing the Tigers to have much time of possession at all. At Zerberini with it. And before the second player defense could get there, gets rid of it. Zerberini on defense now. Physical, but gets blown for a little too physical, I believe. It's going to go in favor of the Tigers at midfield. So here we are, folks. This quickly, we are 10 minutes into this. We're just about 9 minutes. No score. No real action in the goals, but constant pressure on the defense of the Tigers the Bulldogs have posed. And this is going to be the furthest the Bulldogs got. The Bulldog defense up to the challenge. That is going to be Sid Haig. Fantastic job tracking it down, good dribbling skills, and gets it back up to her offense. Octo to the middle, and now that pass gets put out of bounds by the Tigers. And Rafferty will be the one to throw in, I would imagine, which has been the case thus far, and yes, it is. Throwing in, and that's going to get in front of Octo. A little space. There are 2 defenders. She might try to center it. Nice move with the ball. And another one. She's going to get a shot on goal here. And she puts it up just off the goalie's hand. Nice space created by Octo. Great dribbling skills. Great opportunity for the Bulldogs. First shot on goal of Butte. But a good job by the Tiger goalie up to the challenge. As the replay shows, fully extended. So the score remains 0-0. And that has been the most for Fireworks, as Wesley's been on constant pressure offensively. Hasn't been able to get much at the goal. And again, Rafferty, great dribbling again to create space. Gets it up to her offense. And that's Intreri, who puts it over in the corner to Octo. And out of bounds it goes. Did it touch Wesley? No, it did not. We will throw in. And the throw in by Rafferty to the middle of the field. Zabrini just a step late. Fulbert steps in. Pass back out to Rafferty, who will cross it. And the Tigers steps in the lane temporarily, but the Bulldogs are over there. Number 16 for the Tigers with it. Fulbert gets a foot in, and Keegan assures the steal. Pass to Fulbert goes off of the Tigers. And the Bulldogs pass back at midfield. And that will be Salino. Back into Tiger territory. Zabrini. Quick pass. No Bulldog went after it. So the Tigers clear it all the way down to the Bulldog side. Salino fighting for it. Actually gets it stolen in the far corner by the Tigers. This is their biggest threat, who center it. They have a recipient and a shot. And it's wide left for the Tigers. So the Tigers' biggest threat goes by the wayside. Each team with one threat and 0 goals in return. 0-0 score. The Tigers starting to even the field a little bit and utilize a little of the Bulldogs side. There is no question the Bulldogs offense is working up an appetite. After the game, they should surely stop at CC O'Brien's Sports Cafe, open Tuesday through Sunday. Inside-outside dining, takeout, curbside delivery. Go to ccobriens.com for hours of operation. And this is going in favor of the Bulldogs, who will throw in from the far corner. Throwing in, getting possession on the far side. Number 23 for the Bulldogs, Summer Bruno's first action. Thrown in again, and that's going to be Bruno fighting for it. Out of bounds, I do believe, off of Tiverton. And no, the last touch was going to be by Bruno. So number 8 for Tiverton throws in. And now the Tigers playing a little bit of offense, but the Bulldogs' last line of defense trying to thwart it before it gets to Nelson, the goalie, who hasn't had to put a hand or a foot on it yet. Now Zerberini with it at midfield, chips it over to the near side. And Intreri up to Octo. And just a little too far ahead. Octo directing her teammates a little bit. Captain, senior. So the Tigers will throw in. Bulldogs had a lot of space there. And Hake takes the throw in from the Tigers, playing very physical on the near side. And gets the whistle against her. Great defense by Hake, which always seems to be the case. And throwing in, taking over for the Bulldogs. Ending that threat before it really got started. So we're waiting for the throw in on the near side. And she has positioned her teammates, and Rafferty puts the first foot on it. Ahead of Intreri. If she can run it down, Tiger gets in ahead of her and puts it out of bounds. Trip is going to go against the Bulldogs. It will go in favor of the Tigers, who will do their best to get into Westerly territory and try to start some kind of an offense. They haven't done that at all yet today. The Bulldogs have. However, have always been one pass too many or just wide. Just ahead, I should say. Keegan gets the first foot on the ball off of the Tiger goalie. Playing down the far sideline. Fulbert chasing it down. Takes it from the Tiger defender. Salino turns it back up to the far sideline. Bruno battling in the middle of the field on the far side. That's off of Salino's foot. And they're going to put it forward. But that's not going to get past Hake. And again, no threat to the goalie. Nelson yet to utilize her services, yet to need to. And middle of the field, Hake tries to clear, gets it to midfield. Tigers are battling a little bit more to keep it away from their end. And that's Bruno up the far sidelines. You got Selena with it at the moment, who centers it. Zerberini running up midfield. And I do believe that would have been the recipient from Manchuria's pass had it not been deflected off of a Tiger. Now we have Rafferty with it on the near side. And trying to get it up ahead of Octo. She's got an angle at it. Can she beat the Tigers? And they're going to arrive at the same time. Tigers trying to save it from going out, unable to do so. So the Bulldogs will threaten now with possession on the Tigers' end. I do believe. Corner kick should be the situation for the Bulldogs. That's not the case. It's going to be a throw in towards the middle of the field. And Zerberini is going to get a foot on. There's a little bit of a lane. Tries to use it with a spin on the ball. Would have been within the limits of the goal, but the Tiger goalie up to the task. Again, coming out not nearly as far as she had earlier, but has taken down any shot opportunity before it developed. So the Tigers with possession right now, trying to enter the Bulldogs' third. And the Bulldogs put a stop to it, Zerberini. And that goes up the middle. Two Bulldogs can run it down. Number 13 with a little contact. That's Cisco. With possession, trying to center it, puts it far over to the other side, off the head of a Bulldog and to the corner of the goal, where the Tigers goalie again vacuums it up. So still pressure by the Bulldogs. Not getting great shots at the goal, but are pressuring offensively. Time of possession definitely in the Bulldogs' favor. Rafferty with nice dribbling skills in front. Goes out of bounds, and it's going to go in the Tigers' direction, right in front of the booth. And Rafferty puts a head on it. Zerberini chips it forward. Octo gets a little bit of a foot on, goes out of bounds. And it's going to come back this way with the Tigers throw-in. So we are almost halfway through the first half here, folks. Salo Algeria Field. We are Westerly.live. Some Lady Bulldogs varsity soccer action. Two pretty evenly matched teams. The Bulldogs come in at 5-2. The Tiverton Tigers at 4-2. So some divisional positioning definitely at stake here. The score is 0-0. Almost 20 minutes in. Westerly has had the advantage, time of possession, and threats. Hasn't put much together as far as shots on goal or quality thereof. Battling at midfield. Tigers actually have opened up their offense a little bit as the game has gone on. So I would have to say the Tigers came off the bus a little slow after the long ride. And the Bulldogs unable to take advantage with any goals on the board, which generally happens with a team with a long ride. It takes a little bit, but if you don't take advantage, then they may have the opportunity. And it seems like their field is starting to spread out. Again, Nelson, back from injury, the senior for the Bulldogs, has yet to have her services needed. No shots on goal as they threaten right now in the Bulldogs corner. And they're throwing in from the corner. Bulldogs put a foot on it. Out of bounds it goes. So the Bulldogs, Hake in the area with Rafferty. And right back to number 8. Chips it towards the middle, goes down, and a whistle. That's going to go against the Bulldogs, who are a little bit frustrated. I do believe that's going to go against Octo. So the Bulldogs are going to set up their defense here, as this will be the best opportunity for the Tigers thus far tonight. Number 17 for the Tigers from a good distance out. Bulldogs place only 2 defenders in front. Obviously the option to pass it off or try to lift up a shot with direction. And there is some wind here, I would say, going in their favor. Difficult shot for certain. The whistle off of the foot, and it is a shot. hooking back in. Had a couple Tigers crossing, seeing if they could chip and misdirect it, unable to get there. And Nelson has arrived, and the crowd applauds for her first participation with the save. And the Bulldogs now have it quickly at midfield. It's Sacco for the Bulldogs. Out of bounds it goes. So now both teams have had a little action at the goal. Neither goalie relenting. And the throw in from the far side. Number 11 for the Bulldogs, that's Intreri. Fighting on the far side in the shadows, tries to center it. Out of bounds it goes. On the end, off of the Tigers. Bulldogs will set up. Big opportunity here for the Bulldogs as they will set up for another corner kick. Out of the shadows in the corner of Salvo-Algieri Field, Ken Rafferty set up the first goal of the day. Bulldogs kind of a swim and a miss in there. Do get a foot on it afterwards as Hake gets the most out of it. Unable to turn it into a threat. Hake runs it down though and turns it back around in the Bulldogs' favor. Out of bounds it goes. The Tigers will throw in. Tough to get by Hake. Relentless defender. Only a sophomore. A lot of soccer in her future. Which is the case for a lot of the players on this Lady Bulldog team. A lot of young players seeing a lot of live action. And the throw in by Rafferty. Returned out of bounds. And she will run it down and retry. So Rafferty throws in. Off of Intreri. Splits two defenders. We're going to come back and get it. Correction, that is Cisco with the ball right now. Creating space, trying to anyway. To the far side. And at the last minute, a Tiger foot gets in. Coming back to Rafferty on the near side, pops it back up over the defender. Trying to get it ahead of Octo, the captain, their biggest offensive threat. And it's going to get thrown in the far corner on the Bulldogs end by Rafferty. Extremely busy, freshman, I might add, doing a great job getting full time for sure. Good example of their positive future ahead. And they're having a great year this year. So no need to look to the years coming. They're doing well this year. And this is why the constant pressure they're putting on the Tiger team as a whole. The Tigers are battling to get a shot on goal here. So the Bulldogs, number 23 for the Bulldogs, Summer Bruno, getting action on the far side. Nice dribbling skills, gets a little bit of space on the far side. And the Tigers put it up the far side. It stays in bounds. Bruno dribbling upfield, puts it ahead. 3 Tigers in the way. And they will take over at midfield. Again, folks, you are watching Westerly.live. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Westerly.live on your browser. We have a busy week. We had a boys varsity soccer game right here last night. Ended in a tie. We have this live Lady Bulldogs varsity action here tonight. Tomorrow we are in the gym. That's Federico Gymnasium for some lady volleyball action. That's at 6:30 p.m. And at 7 p.m. Friday night we cap off the week with some Bulldog football as Tolman comes to town and the Bulldogs hope to continue their win streak. Back on the field, Tiverton does have it on the Bulldogs' end. Bulldogs defense not leaving many lanes to set up any kind of an offense for the Tigers all game long. So Westerly.live, we will be with you all week long for all of your Westerly sports. So far they have been great and they have been even. The weather's been with us and it is supposed to be Friday night as well. Tomorrow does not matter. Bulldogs Rafferty will throw in again and her arms are going to be sore. That is for certain. Up the sideline with some space for the Bulldogs. Sacco Fresh legs. Tries to make a move to get past. Defender, good defense by the Tigers. In the corner, passes it back. Number 22, that's Hake with it. Creates some space in the middle of the field. Physical D by the Tigers. Forward steps in. And they will put it up the field. Celino will get her foot on it. Goes out of bounds, however. So the Tigers will throw in from midfield on the far side. Westerly.live is a product of Nomad Web Solutions from the mind of Shane Belanger, cutting edge web design and development. Live streams of all kinds, weddings, memorials, fundraisers, board meetings. Go to nomadweb.solutions. At midfield, the Bulldogs racing up midfield again. It is Sacco with some fresh legs, able to turn the corner and try to center it. Just nobody there to take the pass. Tigers doing a nice job, as well as the Bulldogs as cutting into the passing lanes. Hence the 0-0 tie we are in. And Rafferty again throws in. Bulldogs trying to center it. And again, the Tigers get in the way. Out of bounds it goes. Bulldogs will throw in. Guess who? We'll see where it goes from here. Again, the Bulldogs taking up residency on the Tiverton side of the field this entire half. And they're battling in front. They must have contacted Mark Wright from Coldwell Banker and Coastal Homes to get real estate like this for the entire half. They better hope to capitalize. Had they contacted him, they surely would have. And now Tiverton across midfield we go. And them trying to put on a little threat here. Can't get past that last line of defense. Celino, the captain, steps in. And it's a save at the goal by the Bulldogs. Nelson with a positive return, 2 for 2. Steps out. Two-hand save, maintains possession, and puts a foot on it to center it. Keegan with possession on the far side. So the Tigers starting to attack a little bit. I do believe that's about their second shot on goal of the half. We are down to 12:30 left in this first half of play. And whistle on the far sidelines. Fulbert throws in. That's Keegan. Puts it up in the air. Comes down on a Tiger foot. Over midfield for the Bulldogs. Goes down Keegan. And now the Tigers have a couple numbers. See, this is where the Bulldogs, they recuperate very quickly. And here's Hake. Always seems to thwart any kind of offense that the opponent gets started, not just today, but thus far opportunities we've had to see the Lady Bulldogs in action. Her quarter of the field is pretty much off limits. And as a sophomore, that's pretty good to say. And the Tigers threatening a little bit here, more often so than the Bulldogs have been. Bulldogs offense has been quieted a little bit, and out comes a sliding Nelson to end any threat by the Tigers there. And fatigue becomes a factor as well by the Bulldogs offense. I mean, they were on 100% going at it for the entire half, just weren't able to get to the back of the net thus far. And the Tigers step in at the pass at midfield, and as do the Bulldogs. So back and forth in the middle of the field at the moment. Cerberini, pass intended, tries to pass up. And it is picked up by Cisco. Passes up ahead. And Tiverton's goalie wraps it up. Both teams moving a little bit slower here in the back 10 of the first half. Fulbert on defense in the far corner here. New area of shade, does a good job, takes possession, passes it forward. And that's Keegan. Good defense by the Tigers. Takes it away from the Bulldogs, prevents a fast break anyway. It's been a battle in the middle of the field for a little bit. Number 3 for the Tigers, off the foot of the Bulldogs, and Rafferty will have it in front on the near side, out of bounds, off of the Tigers. Rafferty to throw in, number 7. Letting the team set up, waiting for the whistle. 10 minutes to go in the first half here, folks. Hello, Jerry Field. 0-0 tie, division matchup. Westerly versus Tiverton. 5-2 versus 4-2. And throw in for the Tigers. Great defense on the ball by Hake. And a nice crossing pass by the Tigers, able to run it down. They're going to get a shot on goal here. And she puts it out just too far ahead of her. Great job by the goalie to come out. The senior Nelson uses her senior prowess. It was that last dribble by the Tiverton Tiger that gave Nelson the space to come out and get it. Bulldogs were in trouble. There was a lot of room there to make a move on goal. Great job by the goalie returning from injury. 3 for 3 with shots on goal now. Under 10 minutes to go. Things had quieted down for a little bit, but that kind of livened the crowd up a little bit, I would say. Ball's at midfield. Keegan passes back to the near side. Rafferty, who hasn't been off the field this entire game, literally with about 20 throw-ins, has to be tired. Big contact in the middle of the field. No whistle, and I'm surprised. Cafferty not up yet. Rafferty. And up she goes. What a trooper. That was some big contact as play maintains around her. And they try to get a lead pass. Goes off the back of Hake to prevent it. She plays good D when she isn't even looking. And up the side, Celino, the captain. So the Bulldogs defense able to change field position at the moment. And a back pass to Rafferty. And up the sidelines, being able to run it down a little bit, I do believe. Number 13, that's Cisco. Using her dribbling skills, trying to find space. There's two defenders. Turns and tries to pass it. It goes off of a Tiger. And another Tiger runs in. And there's contact over there by Octo, and she gets whistled. That wasn't nearly the amount of contact we just saw in front of us here. So the Tigers will take over off the foot of the goalie. And she will try that again. Forward up the far side. And we'll wait for them to chase down the ball. They should have a bicycle on each side purchased by Remy Cycles. And they could take it to get the ball, chase it down since we're only using one. Remy Cycles, bicycle sales and service, downtown Westerly. Cycling accessories, clothing, safety gear, the latest in all e-bike technology. Everything needed to enjoy your cycling adventures. Quality service guaranteed. And play still maintaining in the middle third of the field at the moment. No recent threats at goal. Bulldogs try to get it up ahead, but just to the goalie it goes. Seems like a little bit of fatigue settling in on both squads here later on in the first half. Two Bulldogs able to run it down. On defense, turning with it. And Rafferty up middle of the field, chips it up ahead. And that does get ahead of her player. That's going to be Sacco, who turns with it. Puts the shot on goal and in. And in she puts it. What a rocket from the far right side. And that is a great way to... Rafferty to the captain, Octow, for the goal. For the Bulldogs. So their resilience and persistence on offense is rewarded. Great accuracy on the shot, and what a bullet it was. So the Tigers fought against the Bulldogs offense for 34 minutes, but with about 6:40 remaining in the half, the Bulldogs break into the scoring column. Captain Jillian Octo, the senior, throw in on the near side to Zibberini. Throw in by Sacco. So the Bulldogs really were rewarded for a very resilient first half. They definitely had the advantage in time of possession early on and finally rewarded later. Still attacking on the offensive end. Sacco goes down. Took either a ball or an elbow to the head. These are some tough Bulldogs out there. None of them wanting to stay down. Very physical game on the field. And the official talking to her, probably due to the contact to the head, it would be best advised to take a minute or two. Obviously, as a player, you never want to. So the Tigers are going to use this time to huddle up a little bit and try to get some kind of an offensive strategy. They've really had none. Nelson's done a great job when needed. Round of applause. Sackel's going to take a little break on the sideline to make sure everything's okay. Hate to see an injury on either side. It's been a very physical game. Bulldogs just able to break into the scoring column. Senior and co-captain. So again, this game should end right around dinner time. Head on over to C.C. O'Brien's Sports Cafe. Great food, beverages, indoor, outdoor eating. Open Tuesday through Sunday, ccobrians.com. And we are live here. 5 minutes to go in the half. Bulldogs with a 1-0 lead. Off the foot of Zerbrini to the far side. Bulldogs pop it up to the near side. Cisco is going to swing and miss. And the Tigers jump in the lane and turn and try to put it up the field. Again, there's two Bulldogs running down and one Tiger gaining space. Hake with a nice turnaround move with the ball. Already has space that quickly. And on the near side, that's going to be Cisco battling with the ball. And well defended by the Tigers. Take it away. And now Keegan steps in with it. Leads Fober on the far side. Pops it up over to the far side. That's Octo again. Trying to get an angle. Scored the first goal. Senior captain puts it up and over the goal. Similar setup as the first goal. Bulldogs seem to have a little bit of an offensive path and plan here. Because they went right back to it and it was there again. I'm sure we'll see more of it in the second half. Off the foot of the Tigers goalie. And clearing it. Back to Salino of the Bulldogs. Aggressive offense by the Tigers. It's 3-on-2 with the Bulldogs and now a fourth defender coming in. And here's the difference. Rafferty is everywhere. She really is. She's defending on the backside, just leaking in just in case. The Bulldogs already had three defenders in the area. There's no Bulldog standing still at any real time. Other than exactly right now when I say it, of course. But that's due to the throw-in on the far side by the Tigers. And stepping in on it. The Bulldogs not making anything easy. It's going to go up the far sideline. And it's going to stay out of bounds it goes. Off of number 18, Julia Baruti, the senior for the Bulldogs. And the Tigers throw in quickly. Try to turn around, pass off the knee. And that's going to be put back up in the Bulldogs' direction towards the midfield. A little back and forth here. No real rhyme or reason yet for the Tigers' offense. Too many Bulldogs stepping into too many passing lanes. And up the field it goes now in the Bulldogs' direction. And out will come the goalie. Puts a foot on it. Coming right out towards our direction. And out of bounds it goes. The Bulldogs will throw in. And I bet you know who. And it's going to leave Cisco, probably the recipient. Over Cisco it goes. And that was intended for Cherry. And Cisco playing great defense on the near side. Out of bounds it goes. And the Tigers will throw in. So about a half a minute left and we will go into added time here in the first half. At the moment, 1-0 lead in Cherry. Bulldogs playing resilient, great defense on the ball and off the ball, really, as I was just explaining. Fobert turns it around. Out of bounds it goes near midfield. Tigers will throw in. And they battle for it on the far side. Out of bounds it goes again. And this time the Bulldogs will throw in. Seeing if someone can chip one in late here. Bulldogs would love for an insurance goal. Tigers stepping in, take possession, and clear the defense with it. Hoping someone can run it down, but Nelson puts a foot on it as Haig was about to run it down. It is going to go out of bounds, and we are in added time. Tigers will throw in. I think the Bulldogs would have been better off allowing Hake to take that possession there. As this turned into a Tigers throw-in in Bulldogs territory. Salino puts first foot on it. And out of bounds it goes off of Bulldogs' foot. Another throw-in by the Tigers on the ground. Intreri puts her foot and entire body in front of it. Gets the whistle, and that's going to go in the Bulldogs' favor. Well defended by number 11, Intreri, for the Bulldogs. A freshman having a great game. So between Intreri and Rafferty, both freshmen, are full-time players for the Bulldogs. Hake, name's been mentioned countless times today, only a sophomore. The names go down the line. And just the right mesh of seniors, and you have a quality club here this year and a great future to build on. A little off balance. Rafferty must be exhausted here at the moment. And the Bulldogs do put it up ahead. Number 18 for the Bulldogs, Baruti. And there's a whistle, and I believe it is offsides. It is, and hence the opportunity created due to the offsides. And that is going to go in the favor of the Tigers. Off the Tigers' foot. We should hear some whistles very, very shortly here, folks. Salvo-Jerry Field, 1-0 Lady Bulldogs lead. Divisional matchup versus the Tiverton Tigers for positioning here. Third place in the division, unbeaten Burrillville, St. Raphael Academy with 1 loss. We will talk about their upcoming games, when and where both teams still have to play each for a second time. So it would make these games even more important in case you're unable to come up with one of those, or maybe you even do. These are huge positioning games for the playoffs. So far side, Tigers kind of biding their time. Bulldogs in a little hustle mode, obviously. And there is the whistle. The first half has ended, folks. The Bulldogs come away with a 1-0 lead off of a beautiful shot by Captain Jillian Octo. Bulldogs were all over the field. Extremely persistent defensively and offensively. Time of possession in huge favor of the Bulldogs. Their resilience paid off by a great shot, accuracy, speed, everything you needed from Octo to go into the half with the lead. We're going to go into break here for a few minutes, and we'll be back with the second half. We are Westerly.live, and this is Lady Bulldog soccer action. Welcome back, everybody. I am the voice, Greg Morano, alongside the producer owner, Shane Belanger. Upstairs, we got Lisa behind the lens. Together, we are Westerly.live, bringing you all your Westerly sports all the time in front of us right here on Sallow Jerry Field. The Lady Bulldogs varsity soccer team looking to hold on to a current 1-0 lead over the Tiverton Tigers. Both teams come into the game pretty much tied at third in their division behind unbeaten Burrowville and one lost St. Ray's. Tiverton is 4-2. Bulldogs are 5-2. We had a back and forth first half. Bulldogs put most of the pressure on for, I'd say, 2/3 of the half. Tiverton started a little bit towards the end. Bulldogs were able to come away with the only goal of the game by Captain Jillian Octo. So, opening up the second half, Maddie Fulber on the near side, captain. It's going to go out of bounds. Obviously, everything has flipped. The Bulldogs are going to be going to our right. Bulldogs goalie Alec Nelson, senior, back from injury, doing everything she's been asked to do tonight with about, I do believe, 3 to 4 saves and shots on goal, and posting a first half shutout. The Bulldogs, a very resilient team, put one up ahead here. They're going to run it down, and the goalie for the Tigers not afraid to come way out of goal. She has proven that. Coming extremely far out early in the game on a couple that I thought the Bulldogs may be able to exploit her later on. It did not end up being the case. So right now we're back and forth at midfield a little bit. This was the case during the first half. And that is Keegan who puts it up ahead, and Trary unable to run it down before a Tiger. And that pass is going to be picked off, and that's going to be just wide right. Huge opportunity early. That was Cassie Cisco, the sophomore. Cuts in front of the Tigers' passing lane. Puts a shot, has a good opportunity at the goal. So again, the Bulldogs pressure first. Tigers came in with a slow start. Tiverton is a haul. So off the bus takes a little bit to get into things, which they surely have. Bulldogs have a lot of young talent on the field. Speaking of which, that was Zerberini running it down. Only a freshman, one of, I believe, 3 that start. Caitlin Rafferty, name has been on repeat. Zerberini has had a great season as a freshman. Ava Trary, also a freshman starter. The Bulldogs trying to run it down on the far side. And going to center it. And Trary just behind Trary, but a foot on it for the Bulldogs. Put it up ahead. And they chip it to an open spot. And the goalie will get there ahead. No real shot on goal. That was Sacco threatening with Keegan in the area. Unable to get that last foot on it. Up the far side. Tigers chip it up and out of bounds it goes. It's going to be thrown in by the Tigers. And they throw it ahead of the player who chips it forward. Bulldog defense in the way. Keegan on the ball at midfield. And here comes the senior. Very physical senior. Both teams playing very physical. Popped up at midfield. 16 for the Tigers in possession. Bulldogs step right in. Zerberini immediately. Extremely good defender, Zerberini. Very good field awareness as well. Keegan with the ball. Trying to use her dribbling skills. Second defender stepped up with the steal. And almost a no-look pass that went right into Wesley's possession. So Sacco with it on the near side, right at midfield. Looking for somewhere to push it up to. Nice dribbling skills as she creates space for herself. And number 17 for the Tigers steps in. And they're going to put it out of bounds. Sacco will throw in for the Bulldogs. Sam Sacco, a junior, again returning next year. Going to have a heck of a squad returning. Boys and girls soccer. Keegan steps up with the ball. Centers it a little bit too far ahead of Octo. Zerberini runs it down. Chips it back to Rafferty. Lets the offense set up. Rafferty, also a freshman. That was a freshman-to-freshman pass. Puts it up ahead. And that's going to be Cisco on the near side in the corner. And going to put it on goal right at the goalie. Unfortunately, a couple Bulldogs a little bit late to pick it off and deflect its lane of travel. Now it's up the far side. Out of bounds it goes. Rafferty will throw in. First half, she made a living doing that on the near side. Now she's starting it up on the far side. And the Tigers step in. Fulbert able to take it away. And the Tigers take it away from Cisco. Again, Fulbert uses her body very well, the captain. Splitting defenders, and the last Tiger there takes it from her, takes her down. There's a whistle, and the Bulldogs will get the ball. Good opportunity here for the Bulldogs. It's going to be the senior Octo, the lone goal this game off the foot of Octo, the senior captain. A line of 3 Tigers in front, and the ball passes it, and the whistle blown. It went by all Bulldogs approaching anyway, so nothing lost. I'm not sure if the infraction must have been an offsides on one of the cutting Bulldogs. So the Tigers goalie will put it into play. Again, Westerly.live, folks. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Westerly.live on your web browser. So this is a big game for positioning, as I was saying earlier. It's going to come off the foot of the Tigers goalie in a moment. But the Bulldogs' upcoming games include the next game versus St. Ray's. So the Bulldogs threatening here. I'm going to defer that notice. And again, just on time, the goalie comes out, takes down the Bulldog offensive player. Who was that? Aggressive play by the goalie for Tiverton all game long. So, as I was saying, this is definitely not a trap game for the Bulldogs, but could have been because they head to St. Ray's tomorrow at 6 p.m. St. Ray's, again, number 2 in the division with a 7-1-1 record. So a win today for positioning, and if they can pull a back-to-back win off tomorrow, that would be huge for the Bulldogs, but that is a tough task. Even division rivals today and then hit the road on back-to-back days and face a 7-1-1 St. Ray's team. So the road is, in the immediate future, not easy for the Bulldogs. It doesn't get any easy for the Tigers either, so this could have been a trap game for them as well, because instead of heading to St. Ray's, number 2 team in the division, they will head to Burrillville, unbeaten Burrillville, 8-0-0. So the road for the Tigers in the immediate future doesn't get easy. This making this game even more important for both teams going forward, and both coaches know that full well. They need to get this win in case they can't get there next. And Tiverton getting out in front a little bit, but 2 Bulldog defenders able to close in on her in the far corner. And that is Hake. Turns it upfield for the Bulldogs. Thwarts the threat. Zerberini with possession. Turns it up. And Octo lets it go down the far side. It's going to go out of bounds. So that being the near future for both of these squads. Bulldogs either can come out of this 6-2, playing the number 2 team on the road, or 5-3. Likewise, 4-3 or 5-2 for the Tigers. A crossing pass, a beauty for the Tigers. No one able to get a head or foot on it in front of the goal. Nelson in position for the Bulldogs, waiting. Bulldogs will take possession here. I know that at halftime I ordered my dinner for after the game at CC O'Brien Sports Cafe. Open Tuesdays through Sundays for inside and outside dining, takeout, curbside delivery available. CCO'Briens.com. Beer, mixed drinks, seltzers, bottles of wine available to go with any food purchase for takeout. NFL football's back. They have 22 TVs every Sunday, Thursday night. All NFL action on TV. CC O'Brien's a great place to be and a great place to take home food from. Back on the field, in the middle of the field, where we have spent a great portion of the game, and that's just great due to good defense by both squads. 2 evenly matched squads. Tiverton doing just enough at the end to prevent the Bulldogs from getting an overbearing amount of shots on goal. They're really not, considering the time they've spent with the ball. Second half, Tiverton doing a better job, maintaining possession a little longer, but really not challenging Nelson at all between the posts. So we're on the far side going back and forth on the second third, and the Bulldogs goes off the foot of number 10 on the far side. And they chip it forward. 3 Bulldogs awaiting, and that's going to be Fobert who's going to take it over and turn it around. Run down on the sideline, stays in bounds by the Tigers. Nice job. Tries to center, goes off the Bulldog. Turns into a mini threat here. And they're able to kick it out. Ball in the middle of the field. Zerberini there to clear it. Good positioning by Sacco. A nice pass up front if they can run it down. And she's going to run down her own pass. And good D by number 33. Can Sacco take it back? She can. And out comes the goalie. And that aggression by the goalie just thwarted a huge opportunity by the Bulldogs. It will be a corner kick by the Bulldogs. Great job. Goalie. It has paid off. It's a gamble playing that way in the goal, but it's paid off for her thus far today. 10 minutes in, the corner kick, too much on it to the other side. Bulldogs try to keep it inbound, unable to do so. Couple substitutions on the field, waiting for players to get to their places, and it'll come out of the goal. 10 minutes away here in the second half, 30 to go, 1-0 score. Salo Jerry Field, Lady Bulldogs coming in 5-2. Tiverton Tigers 4-2. Both head to play the number 1 and number 2 team in their division. Tough task for certain for the Bulldogs at the moment, holding a 1-0 lead. Out of bounds it goes, and the Bulldogs throwing it in, making their way down the field. Keegan throwing in, looking for someone. And for the Bulldogs, that's Cisco. A couple Tigers come in, and the goalie scoops it up. And the kick. Taken at midfield, they try to put it up ahead. Unfortunately, Salino's there. Between Salino and Hake, it's very difficult to get to Nelson. Nelson being the goalie. And that is a formula for success for certain. You can't discount Fulbert at all, obviously. Co-captain senior. Just makes it an incredible defensive 3. And the throw in. And that's off the knee of Salino to a Tiger, but Zabrini comes in, and Hake preventing the shot on goal. They're fighting for it in the middle. And in steps a Tiger to keep it in bounds. Physical D by the Bulldogs. And Cisco goes down, no whistle. Fulbert takes over, and a Tiger steps in. Puts it ahead here, and we may have a shot here. Sacco and the converging defender. Great job by the Tiger D. Out of bounds it goes. Slide tackle on the side. Player stays down. It's going to be a whistle, and it's going to go in the Tigers' direction. She's going to hop back up, just a physical tackle. And shin pads definitely come in handy in this sport for that reason. And if you need a pair, Teddy's Toys may just have them. Sporting equipment, modern toys, classic toys, board games, model buildings, stuffed animals, everything toys. And that includes sports. And the inbound to the goalie. Was able to put a little bit more on it. And in steps the defense of the Bulldogs. Out of bounds it goes, and that will change possession. Rafferty will throw in from the far side. And the Bulldogs fight for it on the far side. Out of bounds it goes. Rafferty to throw in again. And we're working with 2 now. Bulldogs able to throw in quickly. Zerberini trying to run it down. And to the goalie it goes. No space. Defense. Way to get behind Salino, Hake, and Fulbert. Haven't been able to. Right now, they're converging. They're about even, 3-on-3. And they pass it ahead. It gets past Rafferty. They're going to have a shot here. Out of the goal comes Nelson. That ties it. The aggressive play by Nelson turns out to hurt her and into an easy goal for the Tigers. So that style of goaltending has suited the Tigers well this game, as their goalkeeper has come out on several occasions. Not a good decision there on the fast break. Didn't judge the distance of the ball, making it an easy chip in to tie this thing, folks. 25 and a half minutes to go. We are tied at 1. Action-packed night here, folks. All week long. We had a tie last night on this field.
Tigers goal by number 28, Madison Mello.
Number 28, Madison Mello on the goal for the Tigers. Bulldogs threatening. Goalie up to the task again. We'll throw it out. So this is almost a mirror of last night's boys game, where they had time of possession, they had shots, they had statistical advantages, but the other team hung around a little bit too long, was able to get one 1-1 tie. At the moment, that's where we stand here. That goes off the foot of Zeberini out of bounds. Plenty of time, a lot of action to go here. More than enough time. More than one goal to be scored. So coming out's always a gamble. It can go either way. Nelson's had a great game thus far. Gamble went the wrong way. Now Keegan fighting for it at midfield. It's been a little while since the Bulldogs have gotten a real threat as far as a shot on goal. But I have to say the Bulldogs have had no breakdowns defensively but that one. And, of course, Tiverton able to capitalize. The ball had not gotten past Fulbert, Hake, or Salino. It rarely does. One time it does. Tiverton capitalizes for certain. Ball is being popped up everywhere here. Number 9 pops it up ahead. Out comes Nelson. Number 10 was running it down. They're trying to do a similar situation. Not afraid to come out again and get it, though, which is what you like to see. You don't want your player to become hesitant. So we're live with you all week. We were here last night, boys varsity, 1-1 tie. We're here with you tonight, obviously. Bulldogs might run this one down. Do we get a shot? Far side, Octo with it, using her dribbling skills, cuts to the inside, and there's a chance just wide to the far side. Out of reach of the goalie, Bulldogs almost answered quickly. Beautiful dribbling skills. Captain almost gives the Bulldog another lead. Great run by the Bulldog. We put back in play by the Tigers goalie. As I said, a lot of action left to go. Number 9 up the middle of the field. Salino in the way. And the Bulldogs now starting to threaten on the Tiger end. Bulldogs seem to have a little burst of energy, which is good to see in response to the goal, rather than it going the other way. Fulbert with the steal, taking it upfield herself, ready to center it now. So essentially created her own corner kick, and just a second late. Contact with the goalie. Maybe 1 second earlier, she would have gotten in front. So with the replay, you'll see how close this came. A second ahead if she could have gotten in front of the goalie, and that would have been a Bulldog advantage. So since the Tiger goal, Bulldogs have already put 2 shots on goal and have put a lot of pressure on the Tigers to answer. So that's a great response by this young Bulldog squad. You can either go down, go up, or go nowhere. And they've gone up in intensity. They certainly don't want a loss, but I don't think they're going to be happy with a tie either. And Salino turns it around. Fulbert fighting with it. And that's going to be Zerberini. Puts it up the middle here. Off the foot of Sacco, who's got speed, got fresh legs, frustrated. She had to go out of bounds. And she had Octo trailing. That's the 2 that you want running at the moment if you're looking to get it between the pipes. Zerberini off of her head. Octo has it. Going to go back in the direction of Zerberini. Still dribbling. Parallel. Turns off of Keegan, and the Tigers able to put it up towards midfield. number 9 for the Tigers, doing a lot of the leading, trying to get it ahead of the defense of the Bulldogs. Hake puts it into that, turns around with it, upfield it goes, and back trying to do the same thing. Salino uses her head, he gets behind her. That's when it gets dangerous. It's essentially the same thing as getting behind the safety on a defense in football. And the Tigers with a little bit of room here. Not for long as Sabrina uses her speed. Only a freshman again. And down both players go. Incidental slipping. It's going to go in their direction in the favor of the Bulldogs. And it will be Rafferty throwing in by the Dogs. She's going to use her foot this time and puts it up. And it's going to get behind the defense of the Tigers. It has done that pretty often tonight. They put it back to the goalie who swings, and off the side of her foot it goes. Definitely not intended. And that is going to stay in bounds in the corner. And now it's going to go off of a Bulldog. So the Tigers will take possession. We're halfway through the second half, folks. Salo Algeria Field, Westerly Lady Bulldogs. Varsity soccer action, 1-1 tie versus the Tiverton Tigers. The long ride from Tiverton High School to here. They're able to shake off the rust before the Bulldogs can do more than one goal's worth of damage and have evened it up. A battle for positioning as both teams' next foe is number 1 and number 2 in their own division. Burrowville being the unbeaten number 1, where Tiverton will head, and the Bulldogs will head to St. Ray's on the road tomorrow. 7-1-1. And they get it up ahead. Can Octo chase it down? The goalie comes out for Tiverton, doesn't get a full foot on it. So we have a threat here. The defense is able to catch up. There's a whistle. A Bulldog went down. We have a loud crowd, and we're waiting on the call. And this would be huge if it went in the Bulldogs' favor. And it would be a penalty shot. And I do believe that's what we're going to see, folks. Huge opportunity for the Bulldogs here. And it's going to be Kate Rafferty. No one deserving more. The amount of throw-ins and kick-ins she's had from the sidelines. Goalie from Tiverton. Ready. The kick. Off of the goalie. She stones her. The rebound. Too high. And the Bulldogs miss the opportunity. A second rebound attempt out of bounds. The kick, the replay will show a little bit too close. Right at the goalie, in fact. Stones, they were able to get the rebound right back at the goalie and too high. Needed to go a little left or right. That's where you benefit from your penalty shots. Bulldogs, I have to say, blow an opportunity there to break the tie. Need to bounce back immediately, no downtime. The Tigers aren't going to allow that. And on the near side, Keegan to throw in. Octo gets it up in front. That's going to be Bruno with it in the corner. Trying to find a teammate. Finds Keegan. Puts it up hard. It goes off the defender. Keegan now passing back to Fobert. Puts it back up in the middle. That's going to be Octo with it. Pops back out to Fobert. Uses her body. Trying to maintain possession and gain ground. She is. And the defender goes down, but able to put it up a little bit and out of bounds. From midfield, Salino will throw in. Co-captain. Stepping in as Octo gets a foot on it. Bulldogs constant pressure here since, and unable to keep it in bounds. It will stay with the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs will have a corner kick. Constant pressure. Great job by the Bulldogs. Since giving up the goal, their response, more intense pressure. Since missing the penalty kick, their response, more intense pressure. That's a sign of a good team, and with their youth, that's expected to be a good team in the future. Corner kick over the middle. A couple of Bulldogs, but no real good shot at goal. Well defended by the Tigers, and they have defended their corner kicks well all night. So the Bulldogs are pressuring here, trying to break this tie. Unable to do so at the moment. It's been a little while since the Tigers have been on the Bulldogs' third. Trying to make their way there now. Up on defense is Hake. Takes it away. And Salino Clears it back into Tiger territory, out of bounds. Number 27 will throw in for the Tigers. And a little bit too far ahead. She might have been able to catch up if she was on a bicycle from Remy's Cycles. Great bicycle sales and service, downtown Westerly. Hometown service, the latest in e-bike technology. Everything you need for all of your cycling necessities. That's up in front, and out comes the goalie for the Tigers. Way, way out does she come. Risky, but rewarding again to thwart the effort. Constant pressure. Octo with the ball. Two defenders. She gets around him. He gets around to third. Pushing it forward. Bruno in the area, trying to turn the corner. And well defense by number 17. Octo comes back out with it, though. Persistent senior captain tries to center it. And there's a lot of Tigers in the mess at the moment. Bruno with possession. And gets it stolen and back out of danger for the Tigers, who chip it to the near side. Fulbert there, though, uses her body very well. Going to throw in from the near side. It's going to go off of Bruno's foot. She keeps it in bounds. Nice dribbling. And chips it to Keegan in the middle, and a Tiger steps in. Hake puts it up forward. And now Keegan with it. Puts it way up ahead. See if it can get run down, but you got to get ahead of the goalie, and they're just a step or two behind. Goalie clears it out of bounds. Bulldogs will throw in. That's Bruno throwing in for the Bulldogs. And it goes off of a Tiger. And Sacco has it in the middle of the field. Puts it in towards the goal. Wide right it goes. Bulldogs pressuring. Only 14 minutes left in this one. They came in. All the numbers matched up. Scoreboard matches up at 1. I don't know how they feel like a tie coming out of this one. I don't think either team would be too satisfied. Both teams have worked extremely hard this game. Constant pressure on both ends. Bulldogs have the early advantage. I do believe the Tigers haven't made it up once the rust from the bus came off. And they're going to try to lead their offense right now and get behind the Bulldogs' back three, which they've been able to do only a couple times tonight. One did obviously result in their one goal. Throwing in into Bulldogs territory. Salino will use her body. Clears it up ahead off of Sacco's foot. Comes back to Bruno, trying to turn the corner off of a Tiger. Bruno will throw in from the near side. Off of Octo, battling for possession. Trying to turn the corner. The Bulldogs do a great job of using their body. A little bit too much contact on the Tigers. Wesley gets the whistle. It's going to go in Wesley's direction again. So Octo will use her foot and start. And she puts it up ahead. Got a few Bulldogs there. Unfortunately, a little frustration by a couple of the Bulldogs, actually. I don't believe the one that they were aiming for was the one that cut off. Regardless, missed opportunity. And now back to the goalie to start things for the Tigers, who puts it off the field. Keegan able to get a foot on it. And on the far side, and Sherry running it down in the corner, trying to cross it behind the goal. It goes, no room. And in reality, to stay in shape, to do anything, Remy's Cycles is your place to go. Giant bicycles, all accessories, hometown service. We have a lot of bike paths in town, in Bradford, by the lacrosse fields, all over town. And the inbounds by the Tiverton goalie on the far side, and Cherry fighting the whole way. The Tigers will throw in. And we are down to the back 12 minutes of this game, folks. As this game wanes down, our week does not. It carries on tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Lady Bulldogs volleyball team just lost a heartbreaker the other night. Come back into action in Federico Gymnasium tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Putting together a playoff run this year, followed by the full. We have a break here, and out comes the goalie. thwart that effort. Friday night Bulldogs football here at Salvador Jerry Field. Tolman will come to town. Bulldogs will try to extend their winning streak. So a lot of teams doing well here in Westerly Nation. And this goes off of Fulbert, moving upfield with it. Puts it up ahead off of Sacco, back to Fulbert. And Sacco's going to turn. She's got space. Gets a shot on. Off the goalie. What a save. Save of the day. Goes to the goalie for the Tigers at the moment thus far. Fully outreach. Sacco can't put it in a better place. Upper right corner. Fully extended. Corner kick for the Bulldogs. Octo, the threat is not over yet. The Bulldogs put it in play. A little overkicked. Still have possession. Up high off the hand. There's a rebound chance. Can they get it in? And they do. No. It is a goal. Through the goal it goes. And we're going to watch the replay on that one. Certainly does. Right through a hole in the back of the goal. On the rebound. I thought it was an open net rebound. And then I wasn't confident in myself because the ball kept going. And we've been chasing those all night. But certainly.
Bulldogs goal by Gia Keegan.
Gia Keegan, number 2, with the goal. Off the rebound. Off the second rebound, really. Persistence by this Bulldog team. Past the goalie and through the little hole in the back of the goal. The score, Bulldogs 2, Tigers 1. 10 minutes left to go in this one. And an energized, invigorated fan base and group on the field. Like I said, they got to put everything into this one, bounce right back for a road game against a difficult St. Ray's foe tomorrow. They got to worry about today and now, though, and that's what they're doing. 2-1 game. They certainly have not gotten anything easy tonight. Tiverton has played a heck of a game as well. The Bulldogs just a little one step ahead, a little more resilient. Defense has been a little better every time I've seen them this year, to be honest. And running it down on the far side, Zerberini, the freshman, excellent speed. And again, the Bulldogs threatening. Octo with a little rundown, but out comes the goalie with her foot. Puts it over midfield. Salino puts a stop to it. And back into Tiverton territory. Zerberini battling for it off of her foot and up and over the last line of defense. And run down by Octo. Might get a shot here. And does. And goal! That is just great offense by the captain, Jillian Octo. Creating space. Finds a little spot in the lower left. Tucks it right in. Bang, bang. The Bulldogs take the lead and get insurance. First it was Keegan, and then it was Octo for her second goal of the game. The captain with 2. Keegan with 1. And the Bulldogs suddenly with a little insurance here. A frustrated Tiger squad, you can see, as you saw hands on the hips. A little bit more walking off the ball. Away from the ball, I should say. Huge momentum swing, just like that, folks. In about less than 2 minutes, a 1-1 tie turns to a 3-1 lead. In a huge position-shifting game for the division at the moment, up to this moment. The Bulldogs again with possession. Continued pressure all game long, the Bulldogs. Able to get behind the back line of the Tigers several times. Tigers only been able to one time. Back to Nelson it goes. Puts the foot on it. And Tiverton able to keep it in Bulldog territory as a Bulldog slipped. A little bit of a threat here. Able to step in and thwart it. The Bulldogs up the far side. I believe that's Intrari with it. Racing down the far side. No correction. That is Cisco, Cassie Cisco. And it gets put back to the Tiger goalie. And then right back at the goalie and out of bounds. The goalie will take it and throw in for the Tigers. 8 minutes and counting. 3-1. Your Lady Bulldogs suddenly take a what looks like commanding lead in what has been a neck and neck, back and forth contest. We are Westerly.live bringing you all this live action. If you can't be here, that's why we are, so you don't miss games like this. Tomorrow night again, volleyball, 6:30, 7 p.m. Friday, football. All teams competing for playoff spots. All games, playoff implications. We are Westerly.live. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Westerly.live on your web browser. And kicking in are the Tigers. In front of his steps, captain Matty Fobert. In Trary with it, dribbling, and it goes out of bounds. The Tigers will take over and throw in a hurry. They need to make noise here, create a little bit of damage, cut into the lead quick as possible. Keegan, turning around, gets it to herself. Now pops it up over midfield. Tigers return it. And that's Rafferty on the far side. What a busy day she has had. And Selena able to turn around. Two defenders in the area. That's in Trary. Robert now three. The Bulldogs swarm. And the Tigers packing back. That's not going to get them closer. Trying to lob something ahead. Zabarini on the spot at the moment. And they're not going to get through Zabarini and Celino. Celino turns. Deflection, far side midfield. No threat towards Nelson or the Bulldog goal right now. Throwing in the far side, Rafferty. And we are at the 6-minute mark, folks, here. And Tiverton looking for some emergency real estate. They need to get a hold of Mark Wright, Coldwell Bankers, Coastal Homes. And they might have just called. There's a little on the outside over here. Can they find a teammate? No. Satisfaction is Mark's first concern. Consider Mark for all your housing needs. Buying or selling, market analysis, whatever it may be. Tigers throwing in. Back out it goes off the foot of Celino. Number 12 for the Tigers will repeat. And Sacco steps in. And down goes in Trary. Pops right back up. Gritty Bulldog squad we got here. It's been a very physical game, and these girls just pop back up. And Octo steps in front of it. Unable to get past the Bulldogs' defense at the moment. Up the far side, Rafferty almost creates a break, goes out of bounds. Just over midfield as the clock ticks here, and the Bulldogs' 2-goal lead becomes more insurmountable by the minute. The Bulldogs scored 2 in less than 2 minutes. That means the Tigers can do the same. We've seen it in every sport. We just don't want to see it today. Throwing in the Tigers far side. Keegan has a goal on the day. And it gets over the top for a second. Matty Forbert there. And it goes wide right of the goal. Nelson's going to chase it down, I suppose, and gives up on it. Great place for a bicycle. Remy Cycle. Give him a call. Track down those bicycles. Those balls that roll away here. And we got one back. Celino is going to put it in to the near side. Up the middle, Keegan to the far side. Gets past the Tigers. A little bit of a break on the far side possibility. Two Bulldogs running it down. One Tiger goes out of bounds off the Tigers. Bulldogs are going to throw in. Aren't able to do so as quickly as they wanted. That's Rafferty on the throw in. Zerberini uses her body well. Whistle called, blown. It's going to go against the Bulldogs. These Bulldog freshmen are excellent and get extreme playing time, full time on the field. sophomores as well. And off the foot of the Tiger goalie. Keegan with possession at midfield. Tries to lead up ahead and does. Just a little too far. Out of the goal comes the goalie, puts it in play. Approaching midfield, the Tigers trying to cross. Fobert back into Tiger territory off of Octo's foot. Sacco making position. Nice move she makes. Nice dribbling, creates space. Quick pass to Octo. Wasn't ready. It was a one-timer. Had a little lane there to shoot herself. It goes back to Rafferty on the far side. Might have missed an opportunity there, but not a bad idea nevertheless from a distance. Rafferty, what a shot attempt. Man, you can't put a better one out from that far away. Tiger goalie for the second time had to fully extend. As you can see on the replay, just caught her hand between the crossbar. And the Bulldogs with a corner kick here. We are in extra minutes, folks. South Jerry Field, the kid across, and the goalie gets some hands on it, pops it up. It's out in front of the goal. Traffic cleared out a bit by the Tigers. We are in extra minutes. 3-1 Bulldog lead. Lady Bulldogs about to put a close on this and move to 6-2 on the season. Just behind the 7-1-1 St. Raphael Academy Saints, who they will see tomorrow on the road. A win puts them at a tie with a season split. So what was a huge game today becomes even bigger tomorrow. 2 nights in a row is difficult enough. Bulldogs just dribbling out time. Going to try to center it here, given the opportunity. And they're going to turn, make it a shot here. Sacco's going to have space. Down she goes. Whistle, and they're going to get a penalty shot here to add a goal to things. Sacco want to get on the board. Tripping for certain. Unintentional, but nevertheless clear on the replay. So Sacco will try to put a stamp on this one. Signed, sealed, delivered for the Bulldogs. And this one gets by. Nice spot. Great effort by the Tiger goalie. Almost got to the furthest spot in the lower left half. Off of her hand, just slips through. Jillian Octow, another goal for the Bulldogs. Having a day, the captain. And that's going to do it, folks. Here from Sal Jerry Field, the Westerly Lady Bulldogs come away with a 4-1 victory, hard-fought 4-1 victory. The final score rewards the Bulldogs' resilience and persistence throughout the game. All of the scoring mainly coming late, however. Bulldogs opened up with a 1-0 halftime lead, only to have the Tigers come back and tie it at 1, changing momentum a little bit. But then the Bulldogs out of nowhere score 2 within about a minute and a half to take a 3-1 lead, and then stamp this one closed with the penalty goal by Jillian Octow to put the 4th goal on the board and seal the 4-1 victory for the Bulldogs, who walk away at 6-2 with a hold on 3rd place in the division until at least tomorrow, where they hit the road and face 2nd place St. Ray's Academy. So, tough task for the Bulldogs. Take care of the first half of it. 4-1 score. We are Westerly.live. Catch us tomorrow night, 6:30. Lady Bulldogs volleyball action. Also, having a great season. We will see you then, folks.